What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Callus Crew Challenge number 2, round of 32. That's round 1. It is Monai. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce that. Against Trainer Orange. That is, of course, my buddy Jabba the Griffin. This match will determine the fate of their teams because both matches, both in Fairy Gens and not narrated, unfortunately, already played. It was who was it now? It was Zern against Devin, taking down a Gen 9 victory. That is for Monai's team. And then it was Zokaru, however you pronounce that. I've always said Zok. Some people say Zoke. Don't know what the right answer is. But my boy Zokaru taking down Bluebird, also a friend of mine, in Gen 7. So this is an ADV pairing, which most would argue is Jabba's best gen. For the fate of their teams, Monai is someone who I believe started out as a black-white main, but I know now plays ADV, Gen 7, perhaps dips their toes in some other things as well. So I'm not sure what exactly their level is in ADV. I know that they've been involved in Mushi League, which I'm also involved in for at least the past few seasons, and has been retained and doing well in that league. So they must at least know ADV to a reasonable extent. I don't know that they're ready for a top 8 finish of Callus Invitational like Jabba was last year, but, you know, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Don't underestimate. Here's game 1 in their ADV best of 3. Going to be Monai, Monet, Moana on the bottom, and Jabba on the top. Titar and Meta lead respectively. Turn 1 Mash is going to miss a Magneton, and he's going to immediately pull it back. God, I said Magneton. I meant Skarn because he's going to check for Magneton. That's why he immediately pulled it back and went to Moltres there, which is a good play. So anyhow, Will-O-Wisp is going to land on Coon, and Meta going to come back and going to find Bliss. So some kind of Skarn Bliss TSS for Monai, Monet, and Trainer Orange, Jabba on the top is going to click Psychic. Not sure what he was anticipating with that Psychic, but there's an HP Fire, which makes more sense, and that's going to hit the Skarmory. Maybe Psychic was aimed at this hypothetical Swampert in the back, fair enough. It doesn't take a lot from HP Fire, and here comes Celebi. EQ, not going to be that exciting there. Things like Leech Seed, HP Grass, Calm Mind, all sorts of things Swampert doesn't want to happen here. So out of the way we go, and Calm Mind comes down. T-Tar comes in just in case. More good scouting for Monet. A lot of people would have clicked Whirlwind there and gotten immediately hit by that HP Fire. Now Giga Drain. And Hidden Power going to get him, so that is going to be a damn near max attack T-Tar rather. And Celebi, I mean, maybe some amount of bulk, but obviously not full, or it would survive there. So it's going to be huge damage on the T-Tar, but the Celebi will die, regrettably. Toxic landing on Claydol as well, as Salamence comes down. Bliss comes in. Yeah, Monai is all over it. He's doing a lot of very good scouting there. He anticipated that it might be a mixed men's, which it looks to be. Otherwise, if it were strictly physical, you wouldn't go to Bliss there. And yeah, you get the Bliss in on the Flamethrower, and went from there. Curse Lax, full teams revealed for both players. Gengar and Lax was the last poke for both. Will-O-Wisp, sure. And a fat Shadow Ball despite the burn. But unless it is Rest Lax, which seems unlikely since there's no Magneton. Oh, that's even worse. He's going to get taunted and he's going to just self-destruct into the Gar. Obviously anticipating a switch there. I think the logic on Jabba's end was because he knew that he had the threat of the Shadow Ball, which would have been lethal against the Gar, then obviously Monet is going to switch, so I should self-destruct. Right logic, wrong result, and he ends up self-destructing right into the Gengar. And from here, this looks like a potentially difficult game for Jabba to win, though the Bliss is in range to maybe die to the follow-up Brick Break here. So Mixtar actually could be a bit of an issue if he finds a way to not let the Blissey get a soft-boiled off, and obviously not get it killed by the Gengar either. So for his first trick, he'll switch in Suicune to Ice Punch. That's a good start. That's what he didn't want. He lets the Blissey get in here, but it is on Metagross, so he can just mash, and he has to mash. Swampert. Alright, he mashes. I mean, like I said, kind of obligatory, but unexciting against Swampert, obviously. Goes for Psychic now. Is he trying to blow up on the Pert? Dangerous game you're playing here if you blow up on anything else, or you blow up into the Gar, or what have you. But the key to victory for Jabba here is going to be the mixed vents. And it really does have a shot. It can kill everything. Dragon Claw kills Moltres. Flamethrower kills Skarm. Gar dies to anything. Pert at 96% might live HP Grass, tragically. And then Blissey at 43%. Yeah, it's really just the Gengar that can kill the mixed vents. But, oh, he misses Will-O-Wisp. Interesting. I'm really surprised he didn't Ice Punch there. He must know that Mixed Vents is almost always minus special defense in nature. So even if it's an all-bulk Gar, you still probably kill him there with Ice Punch. So I think that was a bad Will-O-Wisp for Monai. I think the logic there was if you Will-O-Wisp it, you keep the Blissey safe no matter what, because then it's out of Brick Break range. So I think that's what we were going for. But now, Jabba actually might win this game. I don't know how. He was really far behind, but he actually might win now. That burn probably doesn't matter. I guess it speeds it up in case Skarm is trying to stall him out. But you just click Brick Break now, and yeah, that's going to be the concession. And Jabba's going to take game one. I'm surprised. He fell really far behind, but the Mixed Vents was a monster. Monai's team was just very, very vulnerable to Mixed Vents as a whole. People say that Mixed Vents needs spikes. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that it certainly benefits from spikes, appreciates spikes, as anything remotely offensive does. But I don't think that it needs it. The Celebi, the last move, so it's CM, HP Grass, or HP Fire, Giga Drain. The last move was Baton Pass, and so you could pass CM Boost to the Ments and have it go bananas. So I see what the team is trying to do. And then like I said, the Ments just, it attacks both ends of Skarm Bliss. It attacks Tar, it attacks Pert. It just seemed like a really big threat. A lot of people think that like Brick Break is not that exciting against Blissey, and they're not wrong, but like it doesn't have to be devastating. If the Bliss has any chip on it whatsoever, and you correctly predict Brick Break when it comes in, you put it in a position where it would die to the follow-up Brick Break, and all of a sudden it's really awkward. It's not really an answer anymore. So really, the Ments just carried the shit out of this game. Jabba was quite far behind. He was back 4-2. He blew up into the Gar. A lot of bad things, but the Ments was just a real bad poke for Monai's team. And Jabba now one game away from pushing his team. Plan Wii. Cute little name because, you know, Sakura on the team. He's one game away from pushing them through to the next round. Monai is going to have to win 2 in a row to get his team through. Here is the second game between them. Monai on the bottom, Jabba on the top. This time it is a Meta and a Swampert lead. And he's going to stay in and go for turn 1 Surf, meeting a Celebi. It was Monai last game opting for Moltres. Now it's Jabba bringing the Dirty Bird. Psychic and Flamethrower, massive damage for both of them, but the Celebi's faster here, crucially. And out of the way he goes. He's got a Blissey in the back. Specs drop kind of annoying there. Calm Mind. And Toxic, sure, put a clock on him. Giga Drain there is going to heal the Celebi a decent amount. And I don't know that I love the Ice Beam. You certainly have to soft-boil now. I would have soft-boiled last turn, but you definitely have to now. And you have to avoid a crit, which he does manage to do. I would soft-boiled again. But he sees it differently, and he goes to meta here. Yeah, toxic damage adding up. Metagross back in for Monai, and Blissey coming in for Jabba, which I think was an obvious play, and I think that Monai did the right thing in getting the meta in there. I don't know that I would have gone back to Bliss. I think it was so obvious that the Bliss was coming in and that the meta was going to come in anticipating the Bliss that if I were Jabba, I would have gone to the Moltres there. Cloyster is going to be scared away by the Celebi that we know has a grass attack, and Blissey is once again going to be the answer. He's going to fling a Toxic at it and find meta. He's once again not able to anticipate the meta by simply going to Moltres, and this is going to be a not good trade. He's going to get a Spike down, and that's going to be all that the Cloyster does, and an attack raise, insult to injury. So, gotta like Monai's position in this battle. Charizard comes in, clicks Flamethrower. Critical hit there on Zard helps. Goes to Bliss. Why? Why not stay in? Aren't you asking? Yep. Aren't you asking for beat up? Not in love with Java's play this game, guys. Gotta be honest with you. Couple of decisions that I'm not thrilled about. And Blissey going to bite the dust. Monai is going to take the lead. So 5-4 for Monai. Thunderbolt whiffing on Pert. That again felt like a prediction opportunity. Just, he's even got the grass attack. Man, he could have clicked Giga Drain. Could have clicked Will-O-Wisp. Got to make some clicks here, boys. Hidden Power Fire. And boom. So Celebi gone finally. And we end up with meta on Gar. Got to go back to Pert. Not much choice at this point. Jabba's way to win this game is just going to be to get there with Gengar, which he doubles back and almost gets popped in the face. This mash connects, but he survives because he burned him. Now it's Moltres and Swampert. If he had clicked Giga Drain there, life would be wonderful. Here comes Meta. And HP Grass coming down. Moltres is faster, so he can do something here. And he does make the right play this time and Flamethrower him down. But Monai still hasn't even shown his last poke, so this could all be moot depending on what it is. HP Grass, 43%, which leaves him at 43%. AD20 Hydro Pump going to cooperate. Gengar. Thunderbolt and Para. But Hydro Pump going to get him. I'm not sure if he had Giga Drained there, if the health back could have kept him alive. Not clear. But without the Gengar, I don't think that he can win. I guess it depends on the last for Monai, but like it's Pert on Pert, which like should be almost a wash. And then Monai has a whole nother poke in the back. Earthquake, Crit, and Surf certainly speeds this up. And Earthquake for the finish. We never do see the last poke. So Monai is going to send us to a Game 3, and it will decide the fate of these two teams. Here is the third game, but before we get into it, the usual spiel. Want to see all these games live? Want to see all the replays that aren't on YouTube? Join the Discord server. There is a link in the description. The other thing that I should tell you guys, very, very important, is to please donate or consider donating to this tournament. It's quick and easy. It's via PayPal. It's via a donation link. I don't keep anything. It all goes into the prize pool. Prize pool needs some help right now. If you have been enjoying this tournament, truly any amount that you can afford to contribute goes a long way, and it significantly increases the odds that I choose to do these tournaments again in the future. Finally, if you've been enjoying the tournament, please consider hitting the like button. Boom, click, done. It's that fast. It's that easy. One click, poof, like button. And then if you want to check all my videos, you can consider subscribing to the channel. I go in streaks with my uploads, but when I'm uploading, I upload a lot, and you don't want to miss the tournaments that I host. So, Game 3, Monai, Trainer Orange, that's Jabba, for the match victory. Monai on the bottom, Jabba on the top, T-Tar for both. T-Tar becomes Flygon, and Brick Break immediately makes me think that it's Guac Tower, which he should check for, and does. He goes to Scarm and doesn't let the Ice Beam take the Flygon. Protect Fire Blast? Sure. Will he eat a Fire Blast here to spike up? He will not. He's going to go to Bliss. Scouting around here. We haven't seen the last move, but it's probably HP Grass. That is the norm on this set. And he's going to go for Soft Boil there just in case he had stayed in and Brick Breaked, which is not the way that it played out. So we end up with Scarm on Scarm. And there's no taunt, so it looks like they are content to both spike up. And we have no clue if either one has a spinner or if either one gives a shit about these spikes. World is full of mysteries. Zapdos is what gets roared out. Obviously a threat to Scarm. And Claydol, so there is a spinner from Monai, also gets roared out. That prompts out Tar. And he switches Flygon into Ice Beam. Ice Beam being the move that he knows that he had, and he's trying to... I don't get that. Ice Beam is the obvious move into Zapdos if he's going to stay there. Why would you switch Flygon in? I think the play was just to click Thunderbolt there. Yeah, hindsight 2020, I guess, but this game is going to be much, much harder without Flygon now. That's probably his only rock resist. It's probably last poke either Arrow or Gar. I mean, I guess it could be like Jirachi or something, but this game is going to be much, much harder without Flygon. That seemed like a big punt. I don't know if he was trying to get cute and, you know, play the mental gymnastics or whatever. He was trying to get it in on a Fire Blast or something and then scare it out. I don't know what he was going for there, but switching Flygon into Ice Beam is not where you want to be. And it is last poke Gar, so he at least rapid spin blocks here, but Jabba has an uphill battle ahead of him, and the freeze is very much going to help. That was a huge freeze on the doll on what was almost certainly going to be a psychic turn. See if he can remove the Bliss, though. Out of the way we go. Bliss on Bliss. So Jabba brought Superman, which is really unusual for him. I don't know when the last time I saw Jabba play Superman was, but it's not what he normally plays. An unusual bring for him. Monai is sticking to TSS. Nothing too crazy here. Pretty standard. Haven't seen the last two, of course, but I mean, you've got the core of just basic TSS-ness. Focus Punch is protected against here. Jabba's got to be kicking himself with that Flygon play. I mean, he's got to do his best right now to not think about it, but got to be kicking himself. Focus Punch got Drill Peck disrupted on the previous turn, but it lands this turn for 42%. We end up Scarm on Scarm. Frozen Doll comes in, roared out. Still haven't found whatever the last two are from Monai. And the Cheetar does not have lefties. It pumped a Lumberry earlier, so unless Claydol does get a spin-off, it will die the next time it comes in. But we still do not know any new pokes. And Jabba's trying to nurse that Scarm back to health. He gets it out of the red barely. Eats a Drill Peck here. Man, Roar still will not show us anything new. Monai, in fact, has only brought 4 Pokemon to this battle. It is all that he needs to defeat the weak, pathetic Jabba the Griffin. Here comes Bliss. And Ice Beam, sure. This is a probable soft-boiled turn. Monet may disallow that by going to Tar. No, he's going to allow the soft-boiled. Interesting. I might have not allowed that. I might have gone to Tar, disallowed the soft-boiled, gone to meta there, clicked mash, and then next time Bliss comes in, she'd be at just 26%, which is very, very low and dangerous. So I don't know that I would have allowed that for Monai. I think that might have been a mistake. I think what he should have done is gone to the Tar there. I think what he's doing is getting greedy, and he's hoping that he can thaw the doll, rapid spin the spikes, and still get use out of the Tar. But I think that's greedy. I think you should have foddered there. Nevertheless, nitpick aside, Monai is miles ahead in this game right now. The last two Meta and Ments have now been revealed. Jabba just flat out down 6-3 right now. And now, in hindsight, if he wasn't kicking himself already, he really should be. There is no switch in whatsoever on this team other than Skarmory for Flygon. The combination of Earthquake and Toxic is very dangerous to every single thing on this team, minus the Skarm. And if the Skarm starts coming in on the Flygon, what Jabba could have done is anticipate that and use that as an opportunity to get the Zapdos in on the Skarm and go from there. That is the way that this coulda, shoulda, woulda played out if Jabba hadn't thrown away the Gon, but now as it stands, it is once again a big uphill battle for Jabba, and that doesn't seem to deter him. I have seen Jabba, I remember, against Kurtz in CI play-ins. Even this Game 1, he came back. Game 1 of this series, so I mean, Jabba usually gets his shit together in the late game, even if he fumbles a bit early. Will he be able to do that here, and will it be enough? I don't know. The Gengar does seem like a real threat for Jabba if he can remove the Bliss, but that's a big if. It's a T-Wave Bliss against a non-taunt Gengar, presumably, and the Bliss is at 75% right now, so it's going to be tough. Gar's obviously not a win condition. If it ends up booming on the Bliss, you need the Gar alive to win with it. So that's going to be the biggest obstacle for Jabba. But if he's able to deal with this Blissey, and that T-Wave can't be good for the home team, but if he's able to deal with the Blissey, then Gengar's got a shot. But make no mistake, obviously, looking at the game state, Monai is in the position of power right here. Monai is in the position to win. Though he does lose the doll without it ever thawing out, so he's going to have to play the rest of this game with those spikes down. Meteor Mash and Earthquake respectively, sure. Full power or crit there. Could have made that Earthquake not happen, but he got it through. And now here's Gar. I don't know that it can kill from 49% unless it has Fire Punch. And it doesn't look like he does. It's going to be Protect and Will-O-Wisp respectively. T-Tar going to fodder itself now. And that's going to get the Salamence in, which, I mean, he knows there's Ice Punch on the other side, so he must be EV'd to always survive that. Ice Punch is going to come up short. Like I said, he must be EV'd to where that is always the case. Super effective Hidden Power. Hidden Power Ghost. What is this? What are these shenanigans? Hidden Power Ghost. Fair enough. Hidden Power Ghost. That being said, Blissey needs to outspeed and freeze right here, or we are Dunyan Rings. And she is not faster, so Boom is gonna get it. Jabba, in hindsight, would have needed a freeze or a crit with that Ice Punch in order to take out the Mence. Didn't get it, and that sealed the game. But the obvious thing here is the Flygon throw. I think this would be very, very different had he not switched the Flygon into the Ice Beam. That was a big boo-boo. Can't win them all. Love you, buddy. Not your finest set. Credit to Monai, Monet, Mona Lisa, the victor in this case. And it's going to be his team alongside Bluebird and Zern moving on to the next round. And my buddies Jabba, Zokaru, and I don't know Devin as well, but Devin as well, are going to be out in round one. Jabba sucks. Comment, subscribe, like button. See you guys in the next video.